All right, this is distributive property day 3. So this is going to go in on Friday. So make sure it says Friday, day 3. All right, so go ahead, answer number 1. If you're struggling to answer, remember with distributive property, the first thing we do is we draw arrows. So that should give you a reminder. All right, pause the video, go ahead and answer it. All right, so we know that arrows mean multiply. So 5 times 4 is 20. Then the 5 goes to the 3, and 5 times 3 is 15. I know that H stays connected to it, and then I look at the sign in the middle. I have a plus sign right here in the middle, so the plus sign comes down. So 20 plus 15H. All right, go ahead. Answer number 2. All right, so remember, draw your arrows. 6 goes to the 2, and remember means multiply, so 6 times 2 is 12. Then 6 goes to the 4, so 6 times 4 is 24. The y stays attached. And then look at the sign in the middle. I have a plus sign, so 12 plus 24y. All right, next we are going to do a review of how to use our number lines. So at this time, stop your video, find me, or if you're with a different teacher, find a teacher, okay, and ask for a number line. I will give you a sheet with a whole bunch of blank number lines because that's what we're going to use to solve these. So let's do the first one together. 9 minus 4. So 9 minus 4, I know my first arrow is going to point to 9 because that is my first number. And then minus 4. So this is where you have to ask yourself, am I going left? Am I going right? Well, because I'm going minus 4, I'm taking away positives. If I take positives away from my life, it's going to go down. So that means I'm going to go to the left. So I'm going to start here at the end of my arrow and go to the left 4 times. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then my top arrow now points at 5. So 9 minus 4 is 5. All right, number 2, 4 minus 9. So again, my first number is 4. So my arrow is going to point to 4. And then it says minus 9. So I'm subtracting positive 9. So I'm taking 9 positives out of my life. I'm taking away 9. So remember, if I'm taking away positives, I'm going to the left. And I'm going to go to the left 9 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So 4 minus 9 ends at negative 5. So I started at 4, I took away 9, and went to negative 5. All right, now 9 minus negative 4. These are usually the ones that get kids tripped up at the first time. So remember, my first number is 9. So we all know my first arrow is going to start at 9. But now it says minus negative 4. So I'm taking away, but I'm taking away negatives. So remember, if you take negatives out of your life is going to get better. So I'm not taking away 4, I'm taking away negative 4, which means my life is actually going to go up. I'm actually adding 4. So when I minus a negative, it actually turns into plus a positive. Okay, so remember, minus a negative, I'm taking away negatives, so I'm adding positives to my life. So I'm at 9, I'm going to add 4 more. 1, 2, 3, 4. And this would put me at positive 13. All right, at this point, go ahead and pause the video and see if you can complete this number line on your own. All right, so my first number is negative 9. So we should have started at negative 9. Then again, it says minus negative 4. So again, I'm taking away negatives, which means my life's going to get better. So I'm adding positives. So I'm at negative 9. I'm adding positive 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And I end up at negative 5. All right, negative 9 minus 4. Pause the video and resume it when you have the number line completed. All right, so negative 9 is my first number. So my arrow points to negative 9. And then minus 4. I'm taking away 4. I'm taking away 4 positives, which means my life's going to get worse, or it's going to go down. So I take away my 4 positives, 1, 2, 3, 4, and I end up at negative 13. All right, 4 minus negative 9. All right, go ahead, pause it and see if you can complete the number line. All right, so my first number is 4. So I'm at 0. I start at 4. Now minus negative 9. So I'm taking away negatives. I'm taking negatives out of my life. So remember, minus a negative is plus a positive. So I'm at 4. Now I'm actually adding 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And this would put me at 13. All right. Again, pause the video and resume it when you've completed this. All right, so this time my first number is negative 4, so I start at negative 4, and then minus negative 9. Once again, I'm taking away negatives, which means my life is going to go up because minus a negative turns into plus a positive. So I'm at negative 4, then I go up 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And my answer is 5. All right, again, pause the video, resume it when you're ready. All right, so I'm at negative 4 again. Now I'm taking away 9 positives. So remember, if I take away 9 positives, my life's going to get worse because it's going to go down. I'm taking the positives out. So I'm going to go left 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And this would end at negative 13. All right, now go ahead, pause the video, open up your binders to lesson 6. All right, so for a warm up, go ahead and solve this equation. And if you get stuck, remember, simply draw a line. All right, so remember, when we do these equations, we want to get our variable by itself. So in this case, we want to get the c by itself. So I want to get rid of 247. Well, because that's positive 247, I want to go ahead and do the inverse, which is subtraction. Oops, I got 2. And if I subtract 247 on this side, I have to do it on the other side. And then I have 458 minus 247 is 211. We know 247 minus 247 is 0. So I'm left with C equals 211. All right, go ahead, pause the video on your own. You can answer this one. All right, so I draw my line. I know I have plus 43.87, so I have to do the inverse of addition, which is subtraction. So I'm going to subtract 43.87. If I subtract it from this side, I subtract it from the other side, and I am left with 15 and 5 hundredths. All right, we're going to skip the next one. And we're going to work on finding the difference. So remember, the difference means subtraction. So difference, the word difference in math means subtraction. And this says find the difference between the final and the beginning. So let's look at our first one. Our final elevation is 900. Our beginning elevation is 400. So simply final minus beginning, 900 minus 400, which is a change of positive 500. So that means the person started at 400 feet, they went up 500 feet, and then they ended at 900 feet. So let's look at the next one, final and beginning. So my final is 50. We're doing subtraction for all these, and if you want to put that in right now, you can. And then my beginning is 400. So 50 minus 400 is a change of negative 350 feet. And what that means is I started at 400, I went down 350 feet and ended up at 50. All right, we'll do one more together. So my beginning elevation, or my final elevation, my final was negative 120 minus my beginning, which is 400, and negative 120, and I take away 400 more, I get an elevation change of negative 520. So that means I started at 400 feet, and I went down 520 feet and ended at negative 120 feet. All right, go ahead, pause the video, finish the remaining parts of the table. All right, so the next one, my final is 610. My beginning is negative 200 for a total change of 810 feet, positive 810 feet. All right, the next one, my final was negative 50 minus my beginning, which is negative 200. And then this one, because I'm taking away a negative, I'm actually adding a positive, and that will give me a change of 100, positive 150. All right, and my final, negative 500, minus my beginning, negative 200, and that is a change of positive 300, or excuse me, negative 300, to go back. I changed negative 300 because I started at negative 200. I went down 300 more and ended up at 500. All right, and the next one, the last one, my final was negative 200. Oh man, I am really messing up. My final is 0. My beginning was negative 200. And that is a change of positive 200. So now when I started at negative 200, I went up 200 and I finished at 0. All right, make sure you have all those correct. All right, go ahead. This is not in your binders, but we want to look at these two columns here. So let's go ahead and let's look at this one. Column A, 3 plus 2 is 5. Now let's look at column B, 2 plus 3. Well, we also know that is 5. All right, so let's look at that. If we notice we did them both and got the same answer, well, let's look at the order. On A, it's 3 plus 2, but B is 2 plus 3, and we got the same answer. All right, let's go to the next one. 5 plus negative 9, well, that's negative 4. Negative 9 plus 5, well, that's negative 4. So again, we got the same answer even though the numbers were flipped. All right, let's check another one. Negative 11 plus 2 is negative 9. 2 plus negative 11 is negative 9. All right, are you seeing a pattern here? We'll check one more. Negative 6 plus negative 3 is also negative 9. And negative 3 plus negative 6 is also negative 9. So if you notice, on addition problems, it doesn't matter what the sign is. If it's positive, 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 negative, 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 it doesn't matter what the sign is. You can put the numbers in any order. So 3 plus 2 is going to give me the same answer as 2 plus 3. Okay, so look at this one. I mean, negative 11 plus 2 gives me the same answer as 2 plus negative 11. So on addition problems, you can put the numbers in any order. It does not make a difference. All right, now this one is in your binder. So go ahead. I want you to do the same strategy we just did and solve each of these and write the answer in your binder. So the first one, 3 minus 2 is 1. Okay, so go ahead and do that for all of them. Pause the video and make sure you get them all completed. All right, so 2 minus 3 is -1. 5 minus -9, so I'm taking away negatives. My life's going to get better is 14. -9 minus 5, I'm taking away 5 more negatives. I'm taking 5 positives out of my life, so that's -14. All right, -2, I take away 2 more, -13. 2 taking away -11 means I'm adding 11, that's +13. -6, remember minus and negative is actually plus a positive, so that's -3. Okay, -3 plus a positive, that's +3. All right, so let's look at those ones for now. So what do you notice about all these? Right, so you should have noticed on this side, they're all positive, and on this side, they're all negative. So there's a few questions in your binder, questions 1, 2, and 3 about this. So go ahead and answer those 3 questions. All right, so that's going to be the end of today. Go ahead and get out your lesson 5 practice problems, and I will show you which ones to do.